What do webinars, seminars, launches, and holiday sales all have in common that make them so powerful for your marketing? Well, if you read the title of this episode, you probably already know. But they're all events. They're all events. Webinars are events. Seminars are events. Launches are a type of event. Holiday sales, also an event. And today I want to talk specifically about the power of event-based marketing and making your marketing into an event to help you make more sales. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. Okay. So before we dive into that, today's episode, as usual, is sponsored by me, and we're not going to be talking about the content of the event today. We're not going to be talking about how you actually sell your products, your services, your offer during the event, but that part is critically important. And for that, I want you to check out the link in the description to my How to Create Breakthrough Big Idea Copy free web class. I've opened it up for a 3-day replay for you. It's all about big idea copywriting and how you structure sales messages. And the link is in the description to that big idea copywriting web class, the free 3-day replay. Check it out. So let's talk about event-based marketing. The power of an event is, well, there's a couple different factors that make this so powerful. So when you actually have an event, when you have something that you can put on the calendar that has a day associated with it or an end date associated with a period of time, it gives you a natural, believable deadline. A natural, believable deadline. The urgency in that is inherent. And so as human beings, we are far more likely to respond. You ask any marketer who has experience running campaigns, running sales, running promotions, and almost always the response curve is there's an initial spike in response right when you open up an offer, and then there's a drop off in response. And then as you get into the deadline, there's another spike in response that's often even bigger than the initial spike in response. So people respond to that deadline because it makes them take action. It makes them make a decision. And having that deadline, having the date associated with it, gives you the urgency that gets people to take action. And so that's really the major power of having event-based marketing is you're actually creating a scenario in which people have to take action to get the offer that you're making. Along with that, having a date for something gives it an easiness in promoting it. When it's wide open in terms of the time that somebody could engage with it, it is easier to just be like, oh, if you're interested, go check this out, right? Whereas if there's a date, it's, hey, this is happening, and if you're interested, you have to go check it out by this time. And it's completely it's candid, you're not manipulating, you're not pushing. Maybe there's a small amount of manipulation, but it's all ethical and it's all very direct. There's no shady stuff going on. You're just saying, hey, this is available until this date, at which point it's no longer available. and so that's so easy to promote as a marketer. And it adds an element of power to the promotion that you don't necessarily get, or that doesn't require extra marketing or copywriting or persuasion skills. It's just adding a layer. It's adding icing to the cake of whatever persuasion skills that you have. So the power of an event, the two big elements are that natural deadline / urgency that comes out of having it, and the fact that it's just easy to promote and that it adds this power to your current persuasion skills. So I knew, and I had heard about the why events were so powerful, et cetera, et cetera. But early on in my career as a freelance copywriter, I worked with this client, and maybe the third or fourth campaign that they asked me to do was a reopening of a investment service that was focused on very small companies that had, the potential to skyrocket in value. And the editor had an incredible track record, but this service, they kept it limited to a certain number of people signing up for it because of the nature of the investments. They were private placements for accredited investors. It was like they could not have too many customers because there would have not been access to the opportunities that were presented. And so they had the service shut down and they said, we're going to open it back up. And so I basically wrote an email. Like, there were a lot of other factors that made this successful. I wrote an email campaign and a sales page that were all about, hey, we're opening this up. We made it into an event. We're opening this up for the first time in however many months. And there's a limit of 1,000 people that can be members of this service just to protect the nature of this opportunity. But if you are a member, here is what members have enjoyed recently. And it was a great track record. And so we opened it up, and tied to opening it up, we also said that we reserve the right to shut this down at 3 weeks or earlier if we hit our membership threshold. And so we had this, we opened it, we promoted it, and we were able to then make updates like, hey, we may have to actually shut this down early because the sales are really rolling in. And then we actually did shut it down early. We gave people a couple days notice and we said, hey, we're going to be shutting this down in 2 days because we're getting close to that membership threshold. And we just, it's time to shut it down. And that thing made over $1 million in a couple weeks because of that. And it was all that we did was we took, we would normally just launch a sales letter to the list, or this is what the client would do with most of their sales letters. They would launch it to the list. There wouldn't be any opening, closing period, whatever. It was just they launch it to the list, and then maybe they promote it a couple more times, and whatever sales come in. Alternatively, this one was this big deal. It was, there was a begin date on the calendar, there was an end date on the calendar, and we had to make the end date come closer. And it was turned into an event, and it made a whole lot of money compared to the other promotions that they were sending to the list. Later with that client, I said, what if we actually create a video event, like a video launch? It wasn't even technically a webinar. It was more like a video premiere. It was treated kind of like a live event, right? We're gonna premiere this presentation, etc. And we actually, that one didn't make quite as much money from the list, but it did make 3 times as much as the client expected it to make. And it also crashed their web server, so it might have done even better if it weren't for the fact we had this great video hosting set up where the video hosting was going to be able to take whatever bandwidth we needed, or was going to be able to give us whatever bandwidth we needed. We did not account for the fact that the container page on which the video was embedded was going to also needed to use some server resources. And so having over 10,000 people trying to load that page within a couple minutes, the web server was just not prepared for. And so only about half the people who wanted to get in on this live event were actually able to show up. And since then, I've actually used that webinar campaign structure. I taught that webinar campaign structure in my webinars that sell training at BTMS Insiders. But that campaign structure is definitely my go-to structure for doing any kind of webinars or web live events because I know that it works. In fact, that client took the exact same structure that I gave them, and we ran a couple more campaigns together, and they started working with their internal team and their copywriters to run more events like that, and we're having a lot of success with that. And it was all because we were taking essentially the same big ideas, the same big sales messages, and we were converting them into events. Either in the case of this reopening campaign, or in the case of the webinar campaign where everything was leading up to the webinar and then following up with the webinar and having a deadline after the webinar. It's all the same. Like, it's about creating a date on the calendar that creates that sense of inherent urgency and that is easier to promote. So in the context of this, of course, you can do live events, and I'll put some air quotes around it. You can do things like webinars. You could do a webinar that's like, hey, we're broadcasting this. And I don't care. You could do e-commerce webinars. You could do a live product demonstration with Q&A session in which you're making a special offer during that. You could do seminars, in-person seminars. I've sold a bunch of seminars, and there is a natural urgency to that, hey, this event is coming up. We're selling tickets to this event. Oftentimes there's early bird deadlines. There's the regular registration deadline. Maybe there's a late registration deadline if you're registering too close to the event. And there's all of this inherent urgency and necessity of action tied to the fact that you've put something on a calendar, right? So you can do those live events, but you can also create marketing events. So, for example, Jeff Walker's product launch formula is all about turning the launch of a new product into an event, oftentimes with a limited time offer associated with the first week or two that the product is live. And so you do these big launches. There's a lead up to the launch. There's all this excitement around the launch, the product launch content. There's the offer that's made. There's a deadline that's associated with it. And again, like it's just really filling in the blanks of these are the details that we do in order to create this campaign, that the campaign itself is an event. And then there's holiday sales. I mean, you're familiar with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that stuff, right? People run holiday sales. This is one of the oldest tricks in retail. Hey, it's, whatever holiday. Oh, by the way, it's, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, so we're running a St. Patrick's Day sale. Or it's, July 4th, Independence Day, we're running an Independence Day sale. It's a, bank holiday this weekend. It's whatever. Or alternatively, you can do like, hey, it's my birthday, so I'm going to run a birthday sale. Hey, it's the end of the quarter. We're running an end of the quarter celebration sale. We're whatever. I don't know. Right? Like, it's about picking a holiday or creating a holiday. Amazon created Amazon Prime Day as a holiday to roughly offset Black Friday 6 months on the calendar, so that instead of having one big shopping event per year that drove all the retail sales through Amazon, they created two. And now all sorts of retailers, Target and Walmart and like all the big retailers, have their own sales that they run in association with Amazon's Prime Day, that they run on the same dates because they know the power of event-based marketing. Or heck, so many retailers just put out, hey, we're having a 3-day sale this weekend. It's a gigantic 3-day sale this weekend. You're going to get the best deal. We've gotten, the best deals of the month are coming out this weekend. We're doing a weekend sale. Whatever it is, right? It's about putting an event on the calendar. You can even manufacture events. I talked about having a personal holiday. This year, I didn't do a great job of promoting my personal Independence Day, which is February 11th of every year, because February 11th of 2010 is the day that I walked out of my last full-time job working for someone else. I walked out of the office for the last time. Ever since then, I've run my own business. So I have a personal holiday that I could use as a promotion thing, right? You can come up with whatever personal holiday you want. Anything that you can put on the calendar, you can use to manufacture an event. You can open an offer. You can close an offer. It can be the last time ever. It can be a price increase. It can be, hey, this bonus is going away after this day. It's about creating some kind of event. My oldest son is now playing Fortnite pretty regularly, and one of the things that Fortnite does, by the way, Fortnite, it's this video game that kids are all excited about, right? Kids love to play. It is also a $1 billion franchise. Like I should have looked up the exact revenue, but I know Fortnite is billions with a B are being made off Fortnite. And how do they do it? One of the major things that they do is on a regular basis, they are doing new seasons. And so a new season, what's associated with it? Well, number one, there's a battle pass that you can buy that gives you access to all this stuff and allows you to earn extra stuff the more that you play the game. But the battle pass exists. It gives you access. This is a free game, by the way. It's free to play, right? Free to get started. But the battle pass gets you these extra things during the season, and the season runs for however much time. And all these things happen in the game during the season. There's a map, a new map that you're playing on, a new terrain that you're playing on. There are new characters in the game. There's new weapons. There's new emotes, like dances that the characters can do. There's all these new things, and it's associated with the season. And then at the end of the season, there's this big event, and people who are playing during this, then there's a trailer for the next season. There's this like transition, and then they actually shut Fortnite down for a day or two while they install the new season stuff on the server. But also they're creating additional anticipation to get you to sign up for the next season, the next battle pass, and then everybody floods onto the new stuff and everybody buys all the new stuff. And so Fortnite actually built this free-to-play game. They built in all of this event-based marketing into the entire structure of the game and how the game is presented so that they can drive more revenue. And their finances say that it works. Any kind of live events you want to hold around an offer, like you can hold an event, you can have a special offer associated with it, etc. The key here is to recognize that event-based marketing works, and it's up to you to get creative about how you're going to put something on the calendar, and you're going to do it, and it's going to happen, and then you're going to promote around it, right? And you're going to automatically tap into the power of event-based marketing. And speaking of, limited time, that big idea copywriting, how to create breakthrough big idea copy, that web class is available for a 3-day replay for you. For you, it's 3 days. And all you have to do is check out the link in the description, go sign up there, and you'll get instant access to watch the replay. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Every day, I'm looking to help you increase your marketing genius. And if you do one event-based campaign based on what you've just gotten out of this episode, I think you'll recognize that it's an easy to implement increase in your own genius level marketing ability. So I will catch you again in the next episode. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.